Have you ever found yourself wide awake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. again? Lying in the dark, eyes wide open, heart gently pounding, while the rest of the world sleeps peacefully around you? If you're an older woman, especially over 70, this may not just be a random inconvenience. It could be your body gently whispering that something deeper is happening, physically, emotionally, even spiritually. You're not alone. Many women in their later years experience this early morning wake-up window, wondering if it's hormones, hydration, hidden stress, or something else entirely. The truth is, waking up at this hour could actually be a signal from your body asking for calm, nourishment, or emotional release. The good news? There are practical, soothing solutions you can start using tonight. In this video, we'll explore 5 gentle steps, rooted in science, self-care, and emotional wisdom, that can help you not only fall back asleep, but also reconnect with your inner peace. From hydration habits to pink noise, gentle stretches to nighttime reflections, these aren't just tips. They're small rituals that honor your stage of life. So if you're tired of staring at the ceiling, frustrated and alone in the silence, stay with me. This may be exactly what you need. Tap that like button, subscribe for more comforting guidance like this, and let's gently reclaim your rest, starting now. Because restful sleep isn't just possible, it's something you truly deserve. It always starts the same. You wake up and glance at the clock. It reads 3:17 a.m. Your heart skips. Your mind immediately starts to churn, thoughts racing, your body tense, and a quiet dread settles over your chest. Not again, you whisper. Into the silence, knowing what's coming. Hours of lying still, staring at the ceiling, praying for sleep to return. If you're an older woman over 70, this experience might feel hauntingly familiar. But let me gently tell you something. It's not your fault. This isn't a sign that your body is broken or that you've somehow failed. In fact, this moment, though unwelcome, can be the beginning of something healing if we know how to meet it with understanding instead of fear. I once spoke with a woman named Eileen, 74, from North Carolina. She described how she used to wake up each night around 3:30 a.m., her body stiff from sleep, her mind already reviewing the day ahead, worrying about her health, her children, even memories from decades ago. I felt like my body had betrayed me, she said. I'd lie there frozen, trying so hard to sleep, but the harder I tried, the more awake I became. And I understood that deeply. Because when you're alone in the stillness of night, and sleep becomes a battlefield, the sense of helplessness can feel overwhelming. But here's what many of us don't know. This specific waking period between 3 and 5 a.m. is not random. It's a well-known pattern, linked to how our bodies regulate stress, emotion, and even energy flow. During these early morning hours, your cortisol, the body's natural stress hormone, starts to rise in preparation for waking. But for many, older women, especially those dealing with unresolved emotions, dehydration, or physical imbalances, this cortisol spike can come too early or too sharply. Traditional Chinese medicine adds another perspective, linking these hours to lung activity and emotional burdens like grief or unprocessed sadness. Whether through science or ancient wisdom, one thing becomes clear. Your body is speaking, not sabotaging you. The trouble is, our natural response to this wake-up call is to fight it. We tighten our jaws, we count the hours left, we plead with our brains to just shut off. And most of all, we stay frozen in bed, desperately clinging to stillness, hoping that sleep might return if we just stay quiet enough. But this rarely helps. In fact, it often makes things worse. The panic of not sleeping triggers even more cortisol, tightening the loop and reinforcing restlessness. It's not that you're doing something wrong, it's that no one ever taught you a better way. So let's change that. If you wake up between 3 and 5 a.m., don't stay stuck in the cycle. Instead, reframe the moment. Start by sitting up, gently, not with a jolt. Let your body know you're safe, you're listening. Then take a deep breath in through your nose, count to 4, hold for a second, and exhale slowly through your mouth. For 6, repeat this a few times, letting your breath soften the tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, calming your heart rate and quieting your brain. You're not forcing sleep. You're inviting peace. If the room feels too warm or too cold, adjust your covers or thermostat slightly. If your pillow feels off, fluff it. If your legs are tangled or stiff, move them. These small acts are not indulgences. They're signals to your brain that you are back in control, that you are tending to yourself with care. The beauty of this shift is that it's not just about getting back to sleep tonight. It's about breaking the pattern of anxiety and replacing it with gentleness. Over time, your nervous system learns that waking up early isn't a crisis. It's a cue to realign. You begin to trust your body instead of fearing it. And with that trust comes more restful nights and softer mornings. This is more than a technique. It's a way of caring for yourself in the quietest, most vulnerable hours. It's proof that even at 3:17 a.m., you are not powerless, you are present. And that presence is powerful. If this resonates with you, comment 1 below to let me know you're still with me, and maybe, just maybe, ready to shift how you meet these moments. Have you ever woken up at 3:47 a.m. with your mouth feeling like cotton, your legs twitching under the covers, and a strange warmth crawling across your chest despite the room being perfectly cool? If so, you're not alone. And more importantly, it's not something you're imagining. For many older women, especially after 70, nighttime awakenings like these are more than just bad sleep. They're messages from a body trying to restore its balance. I remember speaking with Ruth, an 81-year-old from Ohio, who described her nights as restless and dry, like my body was begging for something I couldn't name. Each time she woke, she felt unsettled, warm, even slightly dizzy. But she never thought to connect it with something as basic as hydration. And yet, the solution her body was craving wasn't more sleep, it was water. During the night, especially in later stages of life, our bodies naturally lose fluids through respiration and perspiration. Even if you don't feel thirsty, dehydration can quietly accumulate. What makes it tricky is that these signals don't always show up as thirst. They appear as restlessness, overheating, muscle cramps, dry mouth, and an overall sense of unease. And for older adults, who often experience a decreased thirst response with age, the signs can be subtle but very real. Science tells us that as we get older, our bodies become more sensitive to small imbalances, particularly in electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, which regulate muscle function, nerve signaling, and sleep cycles. When these levels dip, especially overnight, the body responds by nudging us awake because it needs help. But here's where it gets more complicated. When most people do wake up in the middle of the night and realize they might be thirsty, they instinctively reach for a glass of cold water. That's what Ruth did for years. But she told me, whenever I drank something icy, it made me feel more alert, not calm. And that's exactly what cold water does. It shocks your system. It jolts your internal temperature, activates your digestion, and wakes your brain. Instead of relaxing you back into sleep, it creates the opposite effect, heightening alertness and keeping you from drifting off again. What's worse is that some women, in their discomfort, also take a few large gulps and lie back down quickly, creating a full bladder that disrupts sleep further an hour later. That cycle isn't just frustrating, it's exhausting. So let's gently shift this routine. When you wake up feeling parched, restless, or off balance, take a moment to listen to your body. Reach for a small glass of room temperature water, something neutral, comforting, not jarring. Better yet, prepare it ahead of time and keep it by your nightstand so you don't have to walk to the kitchen. Add a tiny pinch of natural sea salt, Celtic, or Himalayan works best, or a splash of fresh lemon juice. These aren't just flavor enhancers, they are subtle sources of trace minerals that your body may be missing. That little bit of sodium helps the water absorb more efficiently and supports your electrolyte balance, while lemon offers a gentle source of potassium. Sip slowly. Not because you're in a rush to go back to bed, but because you're responding to your body with care. Each sip says, "I'm listening, I'm with you." This small act of hydration, done correctly, does more than satisfy your thirst. It calms your nervous system. It helps regulate your body temperature. It reduces the chances of waking again later from leg cramps or dry mouth. Over time, your body learns to trust that when it wakes you up, you'll meet its needs gently, not with frustration or icy shocks, but with warmth and support. And perhaps more than anything else, this new habit turns your 3 a.m. wake-up call from a stressor into a moment of mindful self-care. When you start to see hydration as something more than just drinking water, when it becomes a soft ritual, a way of nourishing your body in the quietest part of the night, you begin to reclaim the healing power of sleep. You remind your body that you are working with it, not against it. And that partnership between you and your own rhythms creates a foundation of trust, calm, and renewal. If this quiet shift resonates with you, if you've ever wondered why you wake up dry and restless but never made the link, then maybe tonight is the night to try something different. Prepare your water, add that pinch of salt. And when the early hours come, respond with care. Then come back and comment too if this gentle act brought you even a moment of peace. It's 4:12 a.m. You're not just awake, you're unsettled. There's no noise, no physical pain, but something inside feels heavy, like a quiet pressure behind your ribs or a gentle ache that has no name. Have you ever woken up like this, feeling more than just tired, feeling emotional, exposed, even a little lost? If you have, I want you to know something very important. You're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. Many women, especially in their 70s and beyond, begin waking during these hours not from a full bladder or noisy neighbors, but from something deeper, something emotional, something that needs your attention, not your judgment. One morning, Doris, age 76 from Seattle, woke up with tears already on her cheeks. She said, "I didn't have a nightmare. I didn't remember anything sad. But I felt like grief had crept in while I was sleeping." And that moment, that sensation of waking with emotion already present, is far more common than we admit. The truth is, between 3 and 5 a.m., your body and mind enter a vulnerable state. From a biological standpoint, this is when cortisol begins to rise and your sleep becomes lighter. But from an emotional lens, especially through the lens of traditional Chinese medicine, this time is associated with the lungs, and the lungs, interestingly enough, are tied to sadness, grief, and emotional holding. So when you wake up with a tight chest, a restlessness you can't name, or a mind flooded with thoughts about the past, it's not random. It's your system processing what you haven't had time or space to face during the day. In our busy lives, especially as mothers, wives, daughters, and caregivers, we've often had to push our own feelings aside. Over time, those emotions find their own quiet time to resurface. And what's quieter than 4:12 in the morning? But what most of us do in that moment is exactly what keeps us stuck. We brush it off, we roll over, trying to force ourselves back to sleep, stuffing the emotion down with the blankets. Or we stare at the ceiling, spiraling into overthinking, blaming ourselves for feeling too much too early again. Some of us even reach for our phones to distract ourselves, hoping the light of a screen will push the darkness away. But it doesn't. It just adds more noise, more stimulation, and more distance between us and the emotional message our bodies are trying to deliver. These coping habits don't mean you're doing something wrong. They mean you were never taught another way. But tonight, let's try something else. When you wake with that uneasy feeling, tight in the chest, foggy in the mind, or heavy in the heart, try this. Don't judge it. Don't push it away. Sit up slowly. Take a breath. Place your hand gently over your chest. Ask yourself softly, what am I feeling right now? You don't need to answer it perfectly. You don't even need to make sense of it. You just need to make space for it. If something surfaces and you're comfortable, reach for a notebook. In the quiet, while the world is still, write what's on your heart. It doesn't need to be eloquent. It can be messy, angry, confused, or even blank. I miss someone. I feel alone. I don't know why I'm crying. Write it anyway, because giving your feelings a name, even a clumsy one, is an act of care. And sometimes, that's all those emotions needed, to be noticed. Over time, this habit becomes more than just a tool for better sleep. It becomes a practice of emotional hygiene, just like brushing your teeth but for your heart. Instead of bottling things up and letting them wake you night after night, you begin to build emotional clarity. You teach your body that it doesn't need to scream to be heard, that it's safe to feel, safe to express, and safe to rest. The result? Less tossing and turning, less emotional chaos in the dark, and more nights where you fall back asleep, not because you forced yourself to, but because your nervous system knows it's been seen, heard, and loved. So the next time you wake up with that invisible weight on your chest, don't ignore it. Welcome it like a quiet guest who has something to say. Listen gently, feel it without fear, and when you're ready, let it go, on paper, with breath, or in silence, because your feelings matter, your peace matters. And every 4 a.m. moment you face with softness is a step toward healing. If you've ever experienced this kind of emotional wake-up, comment 3 below, and let's hold space for one another, even in the stillness of night. It's 4:23 a.m. You've turned over in bed 3 times already, each movement leaving the sheets more twisted than before. Your legs feel tight, your shoulders are stiff, and your lower back aches in a way that makes lying still unbearable. Have you felt this before? That sense that your body is fighting against you, refusing to cooperate just when all you want is a little peace and sleep. If this sounds familiar, you are far from alone. Many older women find themselves caught in this exact loop, wanting stillness, needing rest, but feeling trapped in a restless body that won't settle. I remember hearing from Mary, 79, from Tucson. She said, "Some nights it felt like my body was buzzing, my legs wouldn't stop moving, and I kept thinking, if I just lie still, it'll pass." But it never did. It got worse. That story stuck with me, because it's so common and so misunderstood. What's really happening here is your body's nervous system signaling that something's off. When you wake in the middle of the night, your cortisol may be rising, your body temperature may have shifted, and your circulation may have slowed after hours of lying in one position. Add in tension that's built up in the neck, shoulders, or legs, and your body feels stuck, literally. When we ignore those physical cues and force ourselves to be still, we're trying to quiet something that actually needs gentle movement to resolve. Western medicine might describe it in terms of restless leg syndrome or disrupted blood flow. Eastern approaches speak of energy stagnation, a need to get things moving again. Either way, one truth remains: lying perfectly still while your body screams for relief is not the answer. But unfortunately, that's exactly what many people try to do. They freeze in bed, clenching every muscle, hoping that by not moving they'll lull themselves back to sleep. Others toss and turn endlessly, creating more frustration than rest. Some even sit up in frustration, sighing and looking at the clock, which only adds pressure and anxiety. And then there are those who reach for their phones, hoping a little distraction will make the discomfort fade. But that never truly works. All of these responses come from a good place, a desire to sleep, but they often backfire, because they either ignore the body's signals or drown them out, instead of honoring them. So tonight, try something kinder. If you find yourself lying, awake with tight hips, stiff shoulders, or restless legs, begin by sitting up slowly. No sharp movements. Let your feet touch the floor if you'd like, or stay seated in bed. Then, gently lower your chin to your chest. Let the weight of your head stretch the back of your neck. Breathe in slowly through your nose, hold for a moment, and then exhale gently through your mouth. As you do, let your head roll to one side, right ear toward your shoulder. Hold, then slowly roll it to the other side. These simple movements start to tell your nervous system, it's okay, we're safe, we can let go now. Next, lift your shoulders toward your ears like a slow shrug and release. Do this 3 times, breathing deeply each time. Feel the tension melt away with each release. If your legs are tight, try a seated forward fold. Just a gentle lean forward from the hips, letting your hands rest on your knees or shins. Don't force anything. Let gravity do the work, and if your hands or feet are cold, rub them together, quickly to generate warmth. Then place your warm palms over your feet, offering your body the heat it needs to relax. This kind of physical reassurance tells your brain it's safe to rest again. What seems like small gestures, neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, foot warming, can make an incredible difference. These movements promote circulation, release built-up tension, and gently reset your nervous system without jolting you into full wakefulness. More importantly, they restore a sense of agency. You're no longer just lying in bed hoping your body cooperates. You're working with it, helping it shift back toward rest. That shift, however subtle, can transform how you experience those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. And over time, your body begins to learn that waking at 4 a.m. doesn't mean panic, frustration, or helplessness. It means connection, care, and calm. So the next time your legs twitch or your shoulders feel like concrete, don't brace against it. Move with it, gently, kindly. Give your body a chance to realign, and notice what happens when you do. Many women like Mary have told me that the first night they tried these simple movements, their return to sleep was faster, deeper, and far less stressful. If you try this tonight and feel even the smallest shift, even a moment of release, come back and comment 4. Because sometimes the path to rest isn't stillness, it's softness in motion. And that too is a form of healing. The room is still, the world is quiet, but your mind loud. Thoughts are bouncing like marbles on a hardwood floor. Did I forget to take my pills? What did the doctor mean by watch that closely? Why? Did I say that thing to my daughter last week? And in the stillness of the night, these thoughts don't whisper, they roar. If you've ever experienced this kind of mental storm in the early hours, you're not the only one. It's a deeply human moment, especially for older women whose minds are packed with decades of memories, emotions, responsibilities, and reflections. I remember Joan, age 82, from Pennsylvania, telling me she called it the hour of regrets. Not because she had many, but because at 4 a.m., even the smallest worries grew enormous in her head. She told me, "It's like my brain waits for the house to fall asleep before it starts talking louder than ever." That feeling of mental overdrive is more than just annoying. It has roots in how the brain operates under stress and silence. As we age, sleep architecture changes, and our brains spend more time in lighter stages of sleep. This means we're more likely to wake, and once awake, our thoughts are more likely to race, especially if we're dealing with unresolved worries, loneliness, or anxieties we've pushed aside during the day. Cortisol begins to rise during these hours, fueling alertness. But combine that with a quiet room, no distractions and emotional vulnerability, and you have the perfect storm for overthinking. It's not a sign you're broken or failing at rest. It's just your brain doing what it's used to doing, trying to solve, to organize, to prepare. The problem is, at this hour, your mind isn't working in your favor, it's looping. And in those moments, many women instinctively reach for their phones. Maybe you scroll through news headlines, check the weather, or tap into a mindless video. The screen is bright, the content endless, and for a second it feels like an escape, but it rarely helps. Instead, it tells your brain that it's daytime. The blue light blocks melatonin. The dopamine from scrolling revs your system, and within minutes you've gone from mildly restless to fully alert. It's not your fault. These habits come from a craving for comfort and connection. But the very thing you're reaching for is pulling you farther from the rest you need. So what can you do instead? When your mind won't quiet down, try replacing the silence with something intentional. Not noise, but soothing sound. Pink noise, for example, is a gentle, consistent audio pattern found in nature. Think rain falling softly, waves lapping at a shore, or wind rustling through trees. Unlike white noise, which can feel sharp or mechanical, pink noise is softer, deeper, and more aligned with the brain's natural rhythm. Studies have shown it not only helps you fall asleep faster, but also promotes deeper, more restorative sleep. When your brain hears this kind of steady, gentle sound, it begins to sink, slow down, and settle. Joan started using a rain sounds app, nothing dramatic, just a soft storm, and told me it was like giving my thoughts something kind to hold on to. I didn't feel alone anymore. Another option is a short guided sleep meditation. These aren't about solving anything or diving deep into emotion. They're just quiet, slow, voice-led moments that help redirect your brain from chaos to calm. Many last only 5 to 10 minutes. A gentle voice invites you to focus on your breath, relax each part of your body, and let go of the day. You're not trying to sleep. You're simply giving your mind something gentle to do. And often, in the middle of the exercise, you find yourself drifting without even realizing it. The key is to prepare this ahead of time. Download a pink noise file. Find a meditation on YouTube that has no sudden ads, no jarring intros. Keep the volume low, just enough to hear, not enough to... Make it easy for your future self to reach for comfort instead of stimulation. This isn't about perfection. It's about making space for your mind to soften when it most wants to spin. Over time, using sound this way becomes more than a sleep strategy. It becomes a nighttime companion, a way to show yourself love when you need it most. It's a reminder that even in the middle of the night, you can reach for something that honors your need for peace, not pressure. That moment at 3:58 a.m. doesn't have to be a battlefield anymore. It can become a quiet turning point. If you've tried sound to soothe your thoughts, or if you'll try it tonight, comment 5 and let me know how it feels. Because your mind, just like your body, deserves rest. And you deserve a night that holds you with care, not chaos. If you've been waking between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., wondering why your body won't let you rest, tonight can mark a new beginning. These early hours are not interruptions, they're invitations. Your body isn't broken, it's trying to speak, and now you know how to listen. Whether it's calming your nervous system with deep breathing, gently stretching your limbs, sipping warm water with a touch of sea salt, or simply writing down what's weighing on your heart, these moments can become powerful rituals of self-care. The more you honor these wake-ups, the less they control you. Slowly, your sleep can return, not forced but welcomed. And what you gain isn't just rest. You gain emotional clarity, deeper peace, and a renewed connection with your body. These aren't just sleep tips for older women. They're small, healing habits that soothe both body and soul. So now I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these steps? What time do you usually wake up, and what do you feel in those quiet hours? Share your story in the comments below. Someone else may need to hear it too. Because when we speak with honesty, others feel less alone. And in the stillness of night, that's one of the most powerful gifts we can give.